All right, welcome back to episode 39 of The Fan and the Fanatic. Can't believe we have made this many episodes. I mean, every week it still shocks me that we keep doing this every week. But, yet again this week, the fan is on vacation still, living it up in Japan. So you got the Fanatic here holding it down. And, we got to talk about some NBA basketball because this is post Lakers loss. And the Lakers have been officially eliminated today by the Denver Nuggets, who are going on to the NBA Finals. But along with that, we're going to talk about the other Eastern Conference series and then the draft lottery. And then we got a surprise for you guys. We got a couple guests coming on later in the show. So stick around for that so that you don't want to miss that. We got some interesting things to talk about baseball wise with them. But, typically we've been starting off the episode with the NBA playoffs. So we're going to do just that. And as I mentioned, the Lakers are done. The Denver Nuggets knocked them out in 4 games, a clean sweep, 113, 111 in game four. Nikola Jokic was named the MVP of the Western Conference Finals. To no surprise, the Joker has been playing at an unbelievable level, really since I would say 4 or 5 years ago when he was considered possibly the best center in basketball. And he's kind of putting his stamp on that. But, with the series being done, and when we started recording last week, the series didn't even start. So the Lakers lost within a week. So we'll get to each game here. So, let's start with game one. The Lakers obviously coming off the huge win against Golden State in 6 games. They go on the road to Denver playing against the number one seed. And, the Lakers didn't look so good. Honestly, the Nuggets were hitting everything. It was just a hot shooting night. But, at the end of game one, Darvin Ham was able to make a tweak in the way they were guarding Nikola Jokic, and they put Rui Hachimura on him late in the game, and it caused them some problems. It allowed Anthony Davis to now kind of roam around and play center field. So he was able to kind of double team and trap Jokic, and with his length, was causing Jokic some problems. And the Lakers were able to come back in that game, and they had a shot to win. At the end of the game, they were down 3 with about a minute left. And probably the turning point of this game was when LeBron had the ball. You're down 3, and he pulls up for 3. And the guy guarding him, Jamal Murray, who is the smallest guy on the court for Denver, also one of their top 2 best players, has 5 fouls. And throughout the whole game, he was killing Jamal Murray on the switches, working inside in the post, driving to the basket, and just a terrible decision by LeBron, honestly. I mean, I know he's 38. He's probably exhausted, but come on. You got a smaller guy on you. You've been killing him all day. It's not a desperation 3. You got 1 minute left of game time, and you decide to jack up a 3. And it was just not a good decision there. And you missed that shot. It kind of just sucked the life out of the Lakers there, almost essentially putting that game away. But LeBron, bad shot. Lakers lose game one. And then you go to game two. The Lakers, they went back to Jared Vanderbilt, kind of going back to that original playoff starting 5. But LeBron just, another lackluster performance from him. He was missing a lot of open shots. I think he missed a dunk that was on the not top 10, Shaqtin' a Fool moments for him. Uh, the Lakers just really weren't able to close again. Jamal Murray had 23 fourth quarter points. And, the Denver Stars have been showing up. At least one of them to that point was Jamal. But AD and LeBron, another disappointing fourth quarter. So when your stars can't show up in crunch time, you're probably going to lose the game. And Denver's star and Jamal Murray showed up, the Lakers didn't get that performance, and they go home. They're down 0-2, and being me, I'm cheering for LeBron. I'm like, you know what? They're okay. They're going back home. LeBron's gonna take care of business. And I was dead wrong about that because Jamal Murray left off where he was in game 2 and game 3 and just could not miss in the first half. He had over 30 points. The only way the Lakers were staying in the game was actually Austin Reeves, the guy who the Lakers should probably consider re-signing. But he had a big 15 points at the half. Um, Hachimura kind of got going late in the game in the fourth, but just too much Jokic and Jamal Murray. Late in the game was close. Who was the guys making the plays? Michael Malone said, Jokic and Jamal said, just give us the ball and let us do our work. And those two, for the last maybe 5 minutes of the game, it was the exact same play. It was either a 1-5 pick and roll or a Jokic pick and roll or a 5-1, technically, with Jokic being the center. And the Lakers had no answer for that. They go on a cold stretch in the fourth again. And now you're down 3-0. Kind of the scrutiny of this one was that Darvin Ham played D'Angelo Russell a little bit too long. You could tell that the Lakers just didn't have the flow with him on the court. I think he was a minus 31 and they were plus. I had a plus positive minus ratio when he was off the floor. I think Schroeder was a better matchup guarding, obviously, Jamal Murray. But his quickness, I think, was the difference in at least kind of keeping the Lakers in the game. D'Lo, if his shot is not falling, he's not a defensive stopper by any means. So you can't really play someone if they're cold and they're not playing good defense. And the Nuggets have made it clear they were exposing D'Angelo Russell as much as they could. So Darvin Ham got criticized for that. I thought he should have started Dennis Schroeder coming into the second half of game 3, but he chose to go with D'Lo, and that backfired very poorly. So we head to game 4. Game 4 happened today on Monday, but Darvin Ham does make the adjustment. He starts Schroeder and Rui Hachimura for Vanderbilt, who did not see the floor at all in this game. But this was a pretty sad game from a Laker. If you're a Lakers fan, or in my case, a LeBron fan, because LeBron, he gave you everything he had, honestly. He had a 21 point first quarter, a 31 point first half, and a 40-point game. And yet somehow you lose. LeBron gives you 40 on an efficient scoring night. You got to win that game. You got to win that game. And, the reason why the Lakers were doing so well in the first half was, yes, LeBron was making shots, but it was the shots that he was taking. He looked like the Miami Heat LeBron, a Cleveland LeBron. He just looked like he was in attack mode. He was getting to the basket at will, and the threes were falling. But the thing that I liked about the threes that he were taking was it was in rhythm. It wasn't like it was a contested three. It was off a nice pass. He's catching and shooting in rhythm. That's the threes you got to take if you're LeBron. He got lucky with one, though. It was coming off a pick and roll. LeBron's trying to throw a lob to Rui, accidentally throws it in from 3, which would have been a 2-point shot. So a little lucky there, but you could tell that kind of play goes your way. It's just going to be your night. And LeBron couldn't have played any better really in the first half. The Lakers had 45 shots and they took 11 threes. That's a great ratio if you're Darvin Ham, because that means your team was aggressive. They were attacking the paint and they were getting to the free throw line and they were knocking them down. But third quarter was really when this game turned around and the Nuggets were able to just storm back in the third. But as much as I want to give credit to Jokic and Jamal and the rest of the Nuggets because they played outstanding, Aaron Gordon had a big game for them. He had 20 plus points. If he does that, you just kind of got to live with the results. But the Lakers went away from what they were doing offensively in the first half. They were letting LeBron handle the ball. He was hot, and probably some fatigue from LeBron playing basically the whole game. He sat 3 seconds, so not much of a rest there. But LeBron didn't touch the ball. When the Nuggets were on the run, LeBron was either just catching the ball at the top of the 3 point line, wasn't establishing really any paint presence. And the Lakers are at their best when LeBron's dominating inside, AD's getting touches inside, and they had none of that. And speaking of Anthony Davis, pretty disappointing effort, honestly. The stats look better than they are. He had 21 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks, but it was like, where were you when the Nuggets were on the run? There wasn't an AD presence, and Jokic was literally having his way in the third quarter. He had 13 points and 10 rebounds in the third quarter alone. So Anthony Davis, that's unacceptable because that's just Jokic outworking you on the offensive glass. So pretty poor effort there, but the Lakers kind of stayed afloat in the game, able to tie it. Tristan Thompson actually played a pretty good game. Hasn't had a lot of minutes at all this postseason. A guy who came on the last day of the regular season just for kind of, experience, a guy who's going to keep the locker room intact when times get tough, a guy who knows how to win with LeBron. So young guys can ask him questions, pick his brain. A good guy to have, honestly, and a very underrated signing for the Lakers, but he was able to give them quality minutes off the bench. He was getting offensive rebounds, had a block, I believe, on, I can't remember who it was, but he had a nice contest. But he was playing hard. He was playing hard, and he gives you 10 minutes of hard nose effort, setting screens, getting guys open, and really can't ask much for him. So he did a great job. Had to acknowledge him. But the Lakers, the second half, I think they made 1-3, which was Austin Reeves late in the game with about 2 minutes left. 1-3. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to beat the number one seed if you can't knock down open shots. But the Nuggets, they were able to execute down the stretch. You got to give them credit on the last play as well. They're up 4 seconds left. The ball is going to LeBron. And I think LeBron did make the right play. He didn't settle for the three. I was telling myself, LeBron, please to God, do not shoot a three here. You're down 2. You're not down 3. You're the best driver of the basketball, as Skip Bayless says. Put your head down and get to the rim. And sure enough, he did that exactly. And Denver just played it beautifully. Gordon was able to kind of body him up, and then Jamal Murray got his hands in from the weak side, kind of forcing LeBron to lose control of the ball a little bit, and time ran out. But the Nuggets, you got to give them credit. I think we all underestimated them this whole season, and they were the number one seed for the reason that they were today. They were able to stay composed, come back on the road, down double digits at the half. That's true composure right there. And you got a guy like Nikola Jokic, who's playing out of his mind right now. 30 points, 14 rebounds, 13 assists in this game. Then you got Jamal Murray, a late game closer, and you got quality role players. KCP, I mean, he's a key piece for this team, and it seemed like every time he took a shot, he made it. And I don't know what happens, but I don't know why guys can't do that when they play with LeBron. Just, I don't know. Maybe LeBron puts too much pressure on guys, but KCP has been playing well. Aaron Gordon playing well. Michael Porter's been playing well. You got Bruce Brown off the bench. A solid, truly 6-man starting lineup, if you could say. But the Nuggets, they'll be going on to the NBA Finals. Most likely will be playing the Miami Heat, who are up 3-0, but we'll talk about that series in just a moment. But there's going to be a lot of questions with the Lakers this off season now, and rightfully so. I think the Lakers definitely you need more. And the guy that I really look at is Anthony Davis here. Poor effort to me in game 4. But LeBron, obviously, he's 38. He's going to be 39 next year. He cannot be carrying the load of this team every day. He needs to be a second superstar. Honestly, maybe even a third at this point. He's just old. You can't help it, but he's just old. But he's still giving you all-star production. He's a top 10 player in this league still, which is insane. But you need another guy. And the guy that has been rumored heavily is Kyrie Irving. Now, if Kyrie comes over, who's going to be cut from the team in a sense? Because you can't keep Austin Reeves. You can't keep D'Lo. You can't keep Rui. Certain guys are going to have to go. So are the Lakers going to push for Kyrie? I say, yeah, I think they are. That's something they should look at. But to what cost? I still believe out of the names I mentioned, if you definitely should try to keep Austin Reeves as a restricted free agent. So teams are going to offer him. The Lakers have the ability to match. I think you do that. He's shown that he is a valuable piece to this team success, and LeBron trusts him, which is huge. LeBron doesn't trust a lot of young guys, and he's earned the trust of LeBron late in the game to handle the ball, take big shots. He can create shots on his own now. He's a quality three-point shooter. Just a guy who makes winning plays. So if I'm the Lakers, I'm definitely trying to keep him. If possible, I'm trying to keep Rui Hachimura as well. I think if you can keep those two, and then you probably got to fill in the rest of the roster from there. I think D'Lo is probably out. Malik Beasley wasn't even in the rotation at the end of this season, really, so he's done. I would say Jared Vanderbilt is I could see them keeping a guy like that or getting another guy like that because you need wing defenders. The Fan and the Fanatic podcast is huge on having wing defenders, 3-and-D guys. And Jared Vanderbilt's not the greatest three-point shooter, but he plays great defense, and you need guys like that. You're going to need another big man, assuming you don't trade Anthony Davis, whether that's Mo Bamba. Heck, even Tristan Thompson, honestly. He could be your third string guy, a veteran minimum kind of player. But if I'm the Lakers, this is a little too early, but you get Austin Reeves, you get Hachimura back. And if you can get Kyrie Irving, that's pretty good. And you fill out the rest of your roster there. But at least you got a big 3, and you got a quality starter in Austin Reeves, potential superstar maybe, and a quality, you could say, bench player in Rui Hachimura who could start. And you just fill out the rest of your roster there accordingly. But that's the game plan if I'm the Lakers going into the offseason. Because as long as LeBron is on your team, you're going to compete for a championship. He played hurt this postseason. He's gonna let that foot rest up, and he'll be back. He'll be back next year. It's not his time yet. So, yeah, a disappointing season for the Lakers. But if you look at the big picture, they did kind of exceed expectations. They started 2-10. Things looked miserable. They were the 13th seed in the West at the trade deadline. And, Rob Pelinka makes these great moves, getting all these guys. And you get to the Western Conference Finals and you beat a quality Memphis team and you took out the defending champs. Yeah, I think from where you started, pretty good season, I would say. But the Lakers run ends in the Western Conference Finals. So congratulations to the Nuggets again. And they will be going up against the winner of the Eastern Conference Finals, which at this point, it looks like it's going to be Miami because they are up 3-0 on Boston right now. Kind of different from the Lakers being down 3-0. It's because it seemed like the Lakers were honestly giving their effort out there, playing hard. Sometimes the shots just don't fall, but the Celtics just look dead. They look dead in game one, starting game one. The game was back and forth. And then in the third, Miami scores 46 points in the third. And then the fourth quarter, my goodness, Jason Tatum practically choked. The Celtics were turning the ball over, I think like 3-4 straight possessions in the fourth quarter. You're asking to lose if you do that. And Jimmy Butler was Jimmy Butler in that game. Miami wins that one. They take a 1-0 lead. And then game two, Boston comes out, 12-point lead in the fourth, and you blow that game two. And almost a tale of watching the same thing. Boston's turning the ball over late. Jason Tatum doesn't make a field goal in the fourth quarter for the second straight game. Pretty disappointing. Grant Williams also poking the bear in Jimmy Butler. Probably not the smartest thing to do, as we've seen in these playoffs. Guys who talk trash doesn't really have success in the long run. But they lose game two, and now it's game three. If you're Boston, you got to win this game and just at least ensure that you're going back to Boston for game five. But Miami, they come up blistering hot. The threes were just falling. And, by the second quarter, you could tell the game was kind of over at this point. As a whole, the Heat made 19 threes in game three. And then you go on the other side, your two superstars, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, combined 1 for 14 from three. Yeah, you're probably going to lose. And I'm looking at the stat line. Gabe Vincent was kind of the superstar in this one. 29 points, going 11 for 14 from the field. Duncan Robinson off the bench gives you 22. Caleb Martin off the bench gives you 18. So all these role players for the Heat, even Strus didn't shoot the ball well, but he gave you double digits in points. But look at all that production from role players. And Jimmy Butler only took 13 shots. So he wasn't really dominating the game, you could say, but he had 16 points. But not a lot of production there, but it was the role players for the Heat that took this over in the three-point shooting. And I think it's safe to say the Heat, they'll close it out. I think they're closing out in 4. Joe Mazzulla, the head coach of the Celtics, tells reporters that he lost the locker room. Bro, you don't say that. Even if that's true, you don't say that. You don't say that until you get fired, which you're probably going to get fired. You don't wish someone to get fired, but I think that's going to be the case at this point. Just not a good look for a coach to say that. That's basically saying the team quit on you and you're kind of quitting on them. Right? Not that Darvin Ham was fantastic in this series, but there was no signs of we're going to quit. LeBron's not coming out saying, oh, we're down 3-0. Yeah, we're just going to give up. They lost, but at least the Lakers put up some fight and they were trying hard. They gave effort. And if you just get beat by a better team, so be it. But the Celtics, top to bottom, it just looks like they quit. So this series, probably a wrap in 4. If not, I would say 5. It wouldn't surprise me if they lose game 5, if Boston somehow manages to win this game. But I'm expecting a Denver Nuggets, Miami Heat finals. Probably not what the viewers want out there and the NBA wants for ratings, but from a basketball standpoint, it's probably going to be exciting. And, we'll see that in a couple weeks. But, yep, that's kind of the wrap on the playoffs at this point. We'll probably touch on the rest of the Eastern Conference Finals next week with Greg. But, before we bring on our guests, we got to talk about one more thing that happened in the NBA. So last week, the NBA draft lottery came out. And this was huge in terms of two teams from our show. The first was the Spurs. And there's, you know, myself, I've been pretty known to be a Spurs fan when I was little, but they end up getting the number one pick in the draft, which means they're probably going to take Victor Wembanyama, who's regarded as the best prospect since LeBron James, possibly the best prospect of all time coming into the draft, but huge for the San Antonio Spurs. And I don't know, maybe I should be a Spurs fan, guys, but I'm just joking. I won't be that fan. But huge for the Spurs, honestly. They've had success with foreign guys on their team. Obviously, Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker from France, where Wembanyama is from. You've got Boris Diaw, who was on the team. Thiago Splitter won a championship with the team. Patty Mills grew up, won a championship with the team from Australia. So there's a lot of talent overseas going to the Spurs and having success. So how can Greg Popovich build Wembanyama up to be the next star? That's going to be the key, because Pop, to be honest, is a little past his prime at this point. He's in his 70s. It's tough for an older coach to connect with the 18, 19-year-old when times are so different from when it was 20 years ago, right? Pop's not going to be able to coach Wembanyama the same way he coached a young Tim Duncan or a young Ginobili or a young Tony Parker. It's a lot different. So that's going to be the key for the Spurs. How long will Pop stay in the game? And also, can he be an effective coach to connect with Wembanyama and get the best out of him? But the Spurs probably got a franchise player for the next 10 to 15 years, and they stole that pick from the Blazers. Yeah. Our Blazers getting the third pick in the draft, which is pretty good considering that they had the fifth best odds to get the number one pick. But they were one ping pong ball away from getting the first pick. And that could have been huge for Dame. But, speaking of Dame and the Blazers, now the Blazers have the third pick. From Dame's perspective, if they're trying to win for Dame, I believe you got to trade this pick for a wing all-star, Jaylen Brown, maybe, if the Celtics decide to blow it up, a possible fit there. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I think this is kind of the last straw or last push you can make to possibly win a ring with Dame, because he's not getting any younger. And we've seen over the past couple of years, his body is starting to wear down. He hasn't been able to stay on the court consistently. When he is, he's still a top 2 point guard in this league. Don't get me wrong. But he's not getting any younger. And you can't just keep waiting for guys to develop 2 to 3 years and then be ready to play, because Dame's going to be 36, 37 years old. That just means nothing to me. So that's Dame's perspective. But, being realistic here and being a Blazers fan that I am, if I'm the Blazers, I'm heavily considering before the draft trading Damian Lillard at this point. The guy has been everything you could ask for as a franchise player. And he wants to win, but he wants to be loyal to his city, to the team that raised him in a sense. But on good terms, if he was open to being traded or going somewhere else, I would try to do him right, honestly, because it could be a win-win for both situations. Dame can try to win somewhere, and the Blazers can really focus and buy in on being a young team. If you trade Dame, you better trade Yusuf Nurkic. I mean, he has no business being on this team. Don't get me started with him, but he should have been gone a long time ago. But you build with Ant. You build with Shaedon Sharpe. You have the third pick in the draft. You could possibly be getting Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson with that pick. And then whatever you get with Dame, you're going to get multiple first-round picks for him. So the Blazers, yeah, we might stink a little bit for a couple years, but in maybe three years, let's see where this team's at. If Ant could be the next heir to the throne, he learned from Dame and CJ. If he can be something like that, maybe not Dame's level, but if he can be a CJ McCollum type of player, you might have something. And with the assets that you're getting from Dame, and you can develop Shaedon Sharp, you can develop Scoot Henderson, Brandon Miller, whoever you take with that third pick, you could have a young team in a 2 to 3 years with the Lakers getting old. KD's gonna get old. Denver, hopefully their run is over by then, dominating the West. You never know with Memphis at this point. They've always been in the bad news. The Clippers could wear down by that point with Kawhi and PG having a ton of issues health wise. So the window is not here now, but if you're patient and you develop the players properly, you could be a top-notch team within 2 to 3 years making the playoffs, and then you never know from there. So it's something that the Blazers, I think, need to consider going into the draft next month. But I think that's enough basketball talk. We're gonna take a quick break here, and we'll be right back with our surprise guest. So stick around. All right, guys, we're back from our brief break here, and as promised, we have our guest on the show. Surprise guest this week. One of them is a regular, typical baseball analyst, as we call him, our number one guy. But Jaydon, welcome back to the pod. I believe this is
What's
your
up?
third time on the show.
I think it's my fourth.
Fourth. Okay, so
I
you're
did two
becoming.
last year. I did one in the
This is
beginning
your
of 2022, end of 2022, and beginning of 2023. Fourth time. Super excited. I'm pumped. I know we're talking about something different, but
Yeah, sorry, no
I'm just
Mariners and no Yankees this time. But
I'm glad we don't have to talk about the Mariners, but I'm super
yeah.
excited to talk about today. Super happy to be on, and I can't wait to get started.
All right, yeah, but you're the regular, but we got a rookie on the show today who also has his own podcast, I believe, who's a co-host of the End of the Week pod. CJ, welcome to the show, finally, my fellow Cowboy fan.
Yep, Cowboy Nation, baby. What's up? Thank you, Matt, for having me join this platform. Excited to get my feet wet. I'm just looking forward to chopping it up, with the boys here. Let's get to it.
All right, so I brought you guys both on because we're going to talk baseball, obviously, but not professional baseball, not college baseball, not high school baseball. We're going to talk adult league baseball. And one of the things that both of you have in common is you both run a specific team in adult leagues, one in AJA and one in HBL. So why don't we start with AJA, since we kind of just wrapped that season up? And CJ, since you were the manager, I want to hear your thoughts about this. So obviously Jaydon has been running second string for a while, but AJA was a new stepping stone for us Mililani guys this year. What did you think about the first season, bringing back Mililani AJA baseball?
Yeah. So, you know what? This was my first time being a head coach. It's always it was a good experience for me to get to manage a team rather than not really play as much. But I thought the season went fairly well. I think we went 10-3 altogether, and it was our first year joining the league. We came in. I don't think people really wanted us to do good.
No, they
Didn't
didn't.
expect as much. They didn't expect as much from us, but hey, look, I told Jaydon, before we started, I'd be happy going 500. And look, we are second place. We could have won this thing. We're like, one run away from grabbing this whole league. But yeah, I thought it was a blast, man. I think everybody had fun. A lot of people enjoyed it, the pace, and just the players all along. Everybody got along, and the vibes were immaculate. And I think it was a good time. So yeah.
All right. So obviously we got second place, kind of made a deep playoff run going into the losers bracket. But I would think for next season we would have different expectations. So are there any changes that you're looking to make in the off season?
Uh,
What's gonna get us over the hump to finally take at least the island championship?
yeah. As you know, I think we have a lot of guys, which is good. I think our roster is pretty much set. We may have some guys, big country, maybe taking a break, focusing on basketball, but we may have openings, but I'm not really looking to change as I'm really not looking to change a lot of things. Looking forward to maybe just putting up our defense. Of course, we need arms. It's good to have new pitching arms, but the amount of guys we have is solid. And I think just the defense. If we can, limit the errors, I think that just cost us big time when we lost. It's just the errors that got to us. But I think our bats are fine. Our pitching is fine. We got lefties. We got a good pen. So I think as far as big changes, nothing much. Well, I just hope JT comes back healthy. That'd be a good change for us. Him in the rotation gets us going, physically, mentally. So I think having him back, in it, injury free, would change, the vibes, and maybe would rally off JT. So, you know, I think just having everybody healthy for sure is going to be good for us for next season. And
All right.
I would think we might be one of the favorites. So yeah, we made it known to the league that we in it, and we can ball. So we'll see what happens.
That's true. We're going from the hunter to the hunted now. So hey,
Exactly.
we'll take the challenge. We're not
And I'm
afraid of
looking
anything.
forward to it. Exactly. Yeah. I think we're all capable, and we're all willing to win this. I think everybody's in it to win. That's a good thing about this squad. All the boys are they're pumped to win. They got a taste of it last year, came up short, but next year we want to win the whole thing, and that's the goal of everybody got. So yeah, should be fun.
All right. So, with us having a pretty successful season, I would say in the first year, I think, as the manager, you should kind of give a shout out to maybe a player that you thought had the best season. Let's just go on the field and also off the field as well. Was there any players that stood out this past season?
Shoot, we have a lot of stand-up players. Can I do like what about like an offense? Can I do like position player and a pitcher?
Sure, that works.
Okay. Well, I think the big bat around, or the one who kind of carried our team, was Ryan Yamashiro. We go
Like
back K
Trout.
Crew days. We are lucky to have him on the team. He was a last minute grab. He was gonna play for Sheridan. He actually played for Sheridan last year, but his boys were playing on our team. So I think Ryan, had a great season. His offense stood out, and defensively too, he was sound. Great guy. He got hurt, but he pulled through. So we're lucky to have that throughout. Every game he came. Let's see, pitching. I would have to give it to Reese Masakawa. That guy was solid out the
Wow.
pen. That guy was solid out the pen. He did not. He had a 0 point. He had a 0 ERA at the end of the year. So I gotta give props to him. He held it down in the pen. Everybody, of course, Bronson, right? Bronson Shimura, he did fantastic. But if we're talking about a sleeper, then if we're talking about sleeper, we'll go with Reese. But yeah, those are my two most outstanding players. I'd like to give another sleeper pick, Dallas Chung. I think he's stepped up big, and also I got to give it to Ryden. He's probably our our guy. He's the life of AJA. So as him being part of our squad, it makes it 10 times better. So yeah, those are the guys that I think had great seasons.
Okay, so Ryden, I'm taking Ryden is your standout coach of the year.
Yes, and he is all the above, whatever it may be. He's all the above. A player, a coach, a mentor, a parent, a husband. You name it all. He does it all for this team.
Hold on.
Do you know something that we don't know
Time
yet?
out. Time out. Time
Did he tell you something that's
No,
news
just
to me?
figuratively. Yeah. So
Respect.
yeah.
Okay. Well, Jaydon, I'll put you on the spot. You were an assistant coach. Do you want to shout out any player or coach for a great job this season for AJA?
I'm gonna shout out Dustin. I
I
think
like that.
Dustin is me and CJ can both agree, and everyone in our on our team and our group of friends that Dustin is such a big part of everything that we do. He's always there. He's always supporting. Um, he does play on second string, but for AJ, he took a backseat, took a coaching role, and he lived up to all the expectations. Something big that we had to deal with, an obstacle you would say, is game changer. And both Ryden and Dustin did a great job padding our stats, giving us an edge, and we're only as good as the score, right? And game changer was very important in this AJA season. It's something that we had to really adjust to. So shout out to Dustin.
All
Yeah,
right,
ditto
yeah,
that.
I
Shout out to
like
Coach
that
Dust,
shout
man.
out.
Yeah. He actually helped me a lot with when Jaydon wasn't there. He gave me some like game time decisions. So we always kind of I always talk to him about just like the approach, game planning, pitching rotation. So yeah, if it wasn't for him, that's why when he left to go on that trip, it was like, Dust, man, where you going? We need you. And he he didn't come out to any of the playoff games, but throughout the
I
regular
think I think
season,
Dustin knows now how valuable he is to the team, even though he's not playing.
yeah, he's a good coach. He knows a lot about the game, and yeah, I was like a second thought, a second brain. So
All right, yeah, I like that. So shout out, Ryden. I love you and us, but well deserved coaches award shout outs from our two coaches on AJA. But I expect big things in this second year, so I'm ready. I'm ready. But that's enough AGA. That's in the past, but we got to look for the future now in a couple weeks. So it's summertime, which means second string is back for, I believe, season 6. Is
That
it
is
season
correct.
6?
That is correct.
All right. So, Jaydon, you've been doing this for now 6 seasons. How do you wake up every summer, I guess, to continue to do this? Because it's hard to do this continuously. So what's been the best part about running second string these past
You
6
know,
years?
the crazy thing when we first made this whole thing, we thought I thought maybe 5 years or so. I really didn't think it would get to the point where it is now, you know. And every year, you know, from myself and all the people that are playing, you know, we play the game to have fun, and that's the biggest thing. I personally love baseball. It's basically my life, right? And all the people around us enjoy the game as well. And I think the best part about second string is that, there can be guys that weren't, they didn't play in high school or didn't start. And for them to have that chance and the opportunity just to play baseball. And for a lot of kids, it's not even about baseball, right? It's about just being around a good group of guys, having fun and enjoying it. And baseball's secondary. So I think something that, what gets me up in the morning, like you asked, and makes me doing it every year is, you know, to live life and enjoy and have fun. That's the best thing, especially summertime. Nothing beats summertime baseball.
That's
And
true.
and um, I know our content is something that I personally I'm striving to improve and enjoy, and all the people around, the followers, teammates, they enjoy it as well. So overall, it's a friendly community bond that I think has made us as friends and teammates stronger, and we love baseball, so it works both ways.
All right. Yeah, I like that. So obviously 6th season, as we said. how is the roster looking? What is the expectation this year? Are we trying to be better than the AJA team? Like, and what do you like about the roster too? I think you got some new additions to the team this year.
Yeah. So last year we ended up making the jump to the open division after winning the division two out of the 4 years. There are maybe 3 defending champ with the COVID year. So I would say we were running Division 2 playoffs. By making that big jump and seeing it last year, we really lacked offense. The pitching in Division 1 was a huge jump for all of the players on our team, and I think CJ could agree with that. That all of our guys were a little surprised maybe at the velocity and the movement, and the overall play of Division 1 was so much higher. It's nothing that we couldn't handle, but we were so used to kind of just everyone playing, everyone having fun, not really caring, and still kind of winning. And then playing in Division 1 was a lot different. It was more of that AJA kind of vibe. I've been playing AJA for 4 or 5 years, so I knew the comparisons, and I think this year roster wise, I'm very fortunate to be coaching at Mililani, so I'm able to kind of have a feeder in a sense. I'm able to find guys that want to play, want the opportunity to represent second string in a positive way. Guys like Bubusu Isa, actually a junior at Mililani, going to be a senior, and 2 recent graduates, Logan Faldo and Calvin Hawes. Both Faldo and Hawes are going to play at the next level in college, and I think for them it's going to be a great experience and opportunity, and there's no other summer ball like it. So I think those 3 guys and our returning 2022 high school graduates are gonna really help carry our offense, and I think our pitching is gonna get us a pitching and defense. It's gonna get us in the right positions. I think for us it's up to stepping up offensively.
Okay, so wow, no shout out for the older guys that are committing this year.
Oh well, I feel like it's important for me to say now. Second string has recently acquired former second string ex No Clue member, the co-host of The Fan and the Fanatic, outfielder and second baseman in high school, Matt Matsuda, to a 1-year deal pending prostate exam.
Yes, I'm excited. Hopefully I don't fail. Hopefully I don't fail that exam though. I don't want to get cut from this team, but I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the season. I think as all of us are. But
So is your prostate.
yeah, of course. But
So Matt,
okay,
you're playing full time with us now?
I am. I made the announcement on the podcast last week,
Wow.
and I informed the coach last week. So I am fully
Awesome.
committed this summer.
That's
to
right.
second.
Yeah,
Let's ride, baby.
that's
It's
right.
actually Let's Rock this year. Changing it up.
Let's
Changing it
rock.
up.
Let's rock.
Okay,
Let's
we
rock.
heard that here
Like one,
first then.
like the
Let's
song
rock.
Let's Rock.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Our song of the season is Let's Rock My Next Generation.
Okay,
Yeah.
song of the season. I like that. What about a player of the year prediction? Who's gonna be the main? Who's your MVP pick this year for summer? On the
MVP
field
pick
and
this
off the
season.
field.
You know what? MVP, someone that I think really had to make an adjustment from playing from Division 2 to Division 1. He also is on our AJA roster, and he took a different approach. He was more of a pitcher than our normal outfielder DH. My pick is Brennan Anzai.
Wow.
And
I think Brennan is gonna. I think the AJA season gave him a lot more confidence pitching wise on the bump, and I didn't think that he really wanted to pitch, but in that AJA season, he showed me that he wants to be on that mound, and I'm gonna give him that opportunity in this
Yeah, you
OEL
better. Yeah, and that's a good
2023
idea.
season.
'Cause he showed. Yeah, he did good. Throwing
All
smoke
right,
too.
That's my pick.
What about an off the field pick? Who's gonna party
Off
the
the field
hardest?
pick.
Who's gonna drink the most beers after the game?
Well, second string is actually recently sponsored by Beer Lab Hawaii, so we will be getting our sponsorship during the weekends, and you guys will all see that on our Instagram at Second String Baseball. But I really think someone that I want at every game, Josh Watase, is my off the field pick. Very busy guy. We know works at Wildlife Golf Course. He's a coach, mentor, player, lover, all around busy guy. And all I want to do is see him every weekend at Second String Baseball.
Yeah.
Okay, so Brennan and Josh, that's the two guys that's gonna have the big seasons over the summer. Okay, I like that. I like that. Well, that was a good. I think that was a good coaches interview. But let's take a quick break because I want to play a game with you guys. So stick around. We'll be right back with another segment with these two. So hang on.
Yeah.
All right. So it's time for our little game here. It's a little fantasy draft that I kind of thought of on the spot. But because you guys are both coaches for your respective teams, and a lot of us are on both rosters, I thought, why don't I put you guys to the test and have you guys do a little draft, and you guys as coaches can draft a starting lineup based off of your teams. So Mililani AJA and second string rosters. Now, the catch is because most of the guys are double rostered, we have to have at least one AJA only player on your team. That's the only thing. And
It's
then
not
we'll
limited. It can be.
You can have as many as you want, but at least we got to shout out AJA. So we need at least one AJA only guy.
Okay.
And we'll alternate picks. We'll determine who goes first later, but we'll do defense first. And then after you guys draft out your defensive lineup, then we'll put together the batting lineup. And then you guys can read it out at the end. And
Do we have
that'll,
to explain our pick or no?
if you want.
In-depth analysis, like a draft pick.
Well, we don't have all day. We got like
all
about
5
37 minutes. You can give a brief like NFL draft like analysis if you want, like that 30-second, Mel Kiper reaction. But it's up to you.
Got it.
It's up to you.
Because I know who that is.
Okay. So, you guys good on the rules?
Yep.
I'll let you guys determine who goes first, who gets the first pick.
Wait, does it have to have one second string or only a second string person or just the AJ?
Just one AJA only player, at least one. Because most of the guys are double rostered.
Yep.
I'm going to go out and say that I think second string should pick first because without second string, there probably would not be AJA.
I'll let you guys figure that out.
Nah, bro. Go get him, bro. Pick first.
Thanks, bro.
All right, Jaydon, you're on the clock. Who's the first pick?
First pick. I'm gonna list this person as a second baseman. I'm going Zach Gushkin.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Zach can play second, third, short, outfield, and pitch and catch. But I'm listing him as a second baseman.
okay. I like that. Oh, and by the way, you guys can't pick yourselves.
Okay. So
Can
I
I
have
pick
to
him?
pick. Now I gotta
No,
pick a second.
no, you can't pick CJ, and you can't
You
pick.
can't even pick me as a pitcher? Okay, fine.
No,
Cool. That's fine.
you guys are
Okay, wait,
coaches in this situation.
Does CJ have to pick a second baseman too, or I can pick anybody? Anybody, right?
You can pick anybody. You can pick anybody.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So defensively, my second pick.
It's your first pick.
It's your first pick.
Oh, my
second
first
pick in the draft.
I gotta give it to Ryan Yamashiro. It's just he's just a monster at the dish. I just can't help it, He batted 350, and I'm just gonna leave it there. He's good. He's a D3 state. He's a D3 champion, NCAA champion. Got to go with the college guy.
Okay, what position you got him playing though?
He'll be my shortstop.
That's important. Shortstop.
Shortstop. Wow, you guys knocked out the two AGA guys. Fast.
Just shows the depth of the team.
All right, Jaydon, you're on the clock.
All right. For my next pick, I'm going with a power guy. Big power guy. I'm going big country. Aris Nakagawa at first base.
Bro, he's a coach. I'm taking shit.
Aris in his prime was unreal. And I'm banking that he's going to come out of retirement this summer season and win us a championship.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, winning a championship. Okay,
Okay.
Aris at third pick. Okay, CJ.
Okay. My second pick of this, my second pick, I'm gonna have to go to the AJ roster again. No, and this player, he can. It's almost like a Zach, and then it's why they're best friends. Landon Hake, the guy can do anything, but I'm gonna list him as my catcher. I'm gonna list him as my catcher. So he's gonna be behind the dish for me.
That's sure. Okay, Mr. Utility Landon. It's a good pick, as Giannis says. Okay.
I'm going to go back at you with an AJA pick for my designated hitter, Chase Vogel.
It's good DH.
Oh, nice.
Can't really throw. His arm is broken. Perfect DH. Mid-pack swing.
I like it, even though he plays video games more than baseball, but
He's good at both.
that's true. Mid-pack, they're just good at everything, I feel.
Yeah.
Okay, Wah goes off the board.
Okay. Locking in my third pick. We're gonna look at a double roster move. And you know what? I like defense, right? And I'm looking at an outfielder. And I'm gonna have to say this outfielder, center fielder, he held it down this AJA season. He had a great freaking year. So I'm gonna go give it up to my boy Matt. He's gonna control center field as my third pick. So put Matt in
That was my next pick, actually.
center
Oh,
field.
It's fine.
wow.
He's just a monster out there. Any fly ball to the right or left, I think you got it. So defense is key. That's why I had to pick you.
Appreciate it.
Cowboys Nation. Also, yeah.
Okay. Good pick. That's a good pick. I really think that's important for a team to have a lockdown center fielder. For my next pick, I'm going a double roster. I'm going at third base, Bubu Suihisa, the junior from
Ooh,
Mililani High School.
youngest player off the board so far.
Boo boo. Boo.
He is 5'3" and can bench 2 plates.
Like
That's
Brent.
impressive.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna my fourth pick, double roster move. Looking at the DH spot. I gotta put up with Team Rents as my DH.
Jensen Kim.
Jensen Kim.
DH. He held it down in AJ last year. He can set the ball far. And he hits the ball for extra base hit. So give me Jens, the DH, baby.
Like it. The two
I'm
bats
going
at
with
DH.
Next pick, going with the starter. Breakout player of the year, AJA. Starting pitcher, Reese Boy and Matsukawa.
He's a starting pitcher.
Ooh, he's
Starting
a
pitcher, Reese Boy.
starter. Okay.
Reese, I guess I can announce it now since we're live. Reese Matsukawa was named 2023 opening day starter for second string baseball.
That's breaking news right there.
He earned it, and coach loved it.
Okay, Reese, you got about a week to get in shape.
Reese said he's starting arm care, and his arm care is wearing a jacket after he throws.
Nice.
So we'll take it.
Okay. Locking in this double roster move. I gotta give it to a mid pack. Jared Fujiwara, second base. The intensity, he's electric, brings energy. Give me Jared Fuji now. Lock that in.
Another mid-pack boy off the board. I like that. Oh, these rosters are looking pretty good. Only one outfielder, though. I'm kind of shocked.
All right, I'm gonna go with another pick here. I'm going with my shortstop. New to the roster, 2023 second string baseball. Was a 2023 graduate from Mililani High School. He actually made OIA first team at second base, but he's also shortstop. Taking Calvin Hawes, new to the roster.
Yeah, it'll be good to see, I guess, get another infielder and take, all the reps. Can't wait to have him on the squad for sure. Shout out to Calvin. Pause.
Jaden's going young. I like this.
Yeah, Jaden.
Fresh legs. Fresh legs.
I like the mix of young and old. I think it just brings the energy, the chemistry together,
My sixth pick of this draft, I'm gonna have to take it young as well, kind of following in Jaden's footsteps here with the chemistry. I'm gonna have to go with my fellow George Fox University guy.
That's a great
We're
pick.
gonna go with DJ Tokushima. And I'm gonna put it. I know he's a catcher, but he played third base for the String last year. I can envision him playing third base again. So lock me in BJ, third base as my sixth pick.
Solid pick there, sir.
Thanks, bro.
George Fox.
Yeah, he goes to George Fox. Mililani.
Following in someone's footsteps.
Dang, bro.
So looking at the holes in my roster, I need some speed. We love speed. No one quicker than Ryan O'Hara.
Let's go pick up. Yeah, let's go pick
right
up.
field. Right field.
Sure.
O'Hara boy.
All right. Locking in my seventh pick. And yes, I have my whole infield. I need a first baseman and some outfielders. But you know what outfielders, right? If you're athletic, you can play some outfield. I'm going to have to lock in as my, let me see, center fielder. As my left fielder. I just lost. Oh my gosh. Give me Andrew Matsueda from AJA. You know what? I put him in left field. He can he didn't come out as much, but if he did, I feel like he can hit the ball, right? And he has a good arm. But yeah, I put him in outfield. Let's go with Andrew Matsueda.
Is that the first Punahou boy off the board?
It is the first Punahou off the board. All right. Let's see. I think every great team has a solid backstop. No one is more solid behind the dish. The immovable object, Hunter Kirihara.
That's what's
The
up.
immovable Hodge. You can't
That's
move
what's up.
those thighs.
You want to talk about Cavs? You got it.
Okay. My 8th pick of this draft, and we're gonna kind of mix it up here. We're looking at a first baseman, and this guy, he can catch as well. I'm gonna have to pick Jared Tara as my first baseman, and let me tell you why. Ball in the dirt, ball in the dirt. I know he's gonna block it at first base. You know, he's gonna drop down to his knees like a catcher. He's gonna block it. That's saving runs all day. And JT, he's flexible. I know he can stretch. Give me JT at first base, please. Lock that in.
JT. Okay, the rosters are starting to fill out. Okay, Jaydon, you're back on the clock.
All right. Let's see what I need. All right. Relief pitcher. I'm gonna go Bronson Ichimura
Oh,
Wow.
because, as we all know, majority of the regular season, Bronson was our closer. So I'm going off of that.
that's what's up. That's what's up.
I feel like that
Okay.
was stolen right there.
That is a steal of the draft right there. I haven't picked pitching yet. Okay. All right. I think it's time. You know what? We can work with pitching later. Actually, no, wait. I want to just take this opportunity to steal Brennan Anzai. Give him my relief pitcher right now. Relief. All right.
All right, 9 picks down. I think we got 2 left.
All right. Left field. I'm going with another young blood. I got to know him a lot during this academic school year. I actually coached him when he was in 8th grade, and getting to know him the last 4 or 5 years, he's turned into a great young man, and I'm very happy to announce that he'll be representing second string this year. I'm taking in left field Logan Faldo.
Logan.
That's a sleeper pick too. That is a sleeper pick. Okay. Gonna narrow it down. I think me and Jaden got one more pick. I got 2
I
more
have
pick.
one more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jaden's got 1. You got 2, CJ.
Yeah. I need a right fielder in the starting pitcher. All right. We can't choose me or Jaden, right?
No, you guys are coaching.
That's right. Okay. I gotta give it a good starting pitcher. I know it's a lot of we're taking already. The best lefty wasn't taking Jaden. You know, he's the best lefty out there. So we're gonna have to narrow it down. Man, I think a consistent guy who did good last year is RJ Jackson. Big Rob. Um, got to just play with him one season last year. He took a lot of the innings. So give me him as a starting pitcher. He did well. I'm certain he'll do good again. So give me RJ Jackson as my starting pitcher.
It's a great pick. He can also hit.
Maybe we had Jensen as a DH. Don't want to, take his bat away.
RJ
So
also has a massive bat. 34, 31.
Jeez.
All right, so my last pick. This is the seal of the draft. Super utility man. double rostered, foul ball machine, the one, the only Darren Iha in center
who?
field.
Can I just
Center
say
field.
that you're missing a center fielder?
There's no arm in
Darren
center field.
Darren
is a
Iha in
super
center
utility
field.
man.
Throw his glove. We're gonna run.
He's the best foul ball hitter in the league. I gotta say
Absolutely.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, he whacks a lot of good foul balls. Okay, and then narrow it down to my last pick of this draft. My right fielder. Let me go with Jared Morikawa. He's athletic enough to
Excuse
control.
me?
Whoa.
So let's go with Jared Morikawa in right field.
Holy
you got D-Boy
second
in
baseman. Second baseman going to outfield.
second baseman.
D-Boy is actually a utility man. Jaren is a second baseman. I don't know. I don't know, Matt. I don't know if that qualifies as a pick.
No, I mean, it's however you guys want to fill out your roster. As long as you guys have each position filled, you guys are the coaches.
All right, fair.
Okay.
Respect. Fair
So you
enough.
guys got your guys' roster. So I want you guys to think a little bit, try to put together a batting lineup for this. And you guys can announce it.
All right.
I got it. I'm ready.
Okay, Jaden, you can go first then.
So leading off, super utility man, Darren Iha. Darren is one to succeed under the pressure, under the big lights. Darren gets it done. The D&D boy stands for done. Second batter, Zach Gushigan. In the 3-hole, Boo Boo Soihisa. The 4th spot, clean up, Chase Wago. In the 5, needs a protection behind Chase Wago, big country, Aris Nakagawa. In the 6th hole, we have newcomer Calvin Hawes. In the 7th, Hunter Kirihara. I think Hunter strives in that 7th spot. He gets some pitches, gets fastballs. Hunter loves the fastball. Throw him a curveball, he's done for. In the 8th, Logan Faldo. Logan's quick, Logan's fast, he can bunt the ball. And rounding off my starting 9, Mr. Ohisan, Ryan O'Hara. Yurija.
Solid,
And
solid,
Reese on the mound and Reese on the mound.
Reese on the bump.
solid, solid. All right.
Solid.
I got my lineup. Matt, for you. Okay. We're just gonna, re-jog AJA a little bit. Leadoff batter, Landon Ake. Number 2, Jared Fujiwara. Number 3, Big Jensen Kim. Number
Going to
4,
order.
Ryan Yamashiro. Number 5, BJ Tokushima. Number 6, give me JT in the clutch. Bring home all those runs right there. 7 to start off my bottom half, Matt getting on. 8, let's go with Andrew. Here and there, he gets some knocks. 9, perfect 9 batter, Jaren. He still can put the ball in play. He's still gonna run it out. Let's ride. RG on the mound, ready to close it out. Let's go.
All right. Wow, I'm looking at these lineups. Pretty evenly matched, I would say.
That's a good draft. Yeah.
Good draft. Yeah, you guys did great. Put you guys on the spot too. But I think we gotta post this. I don't know, maybe Jaden put on the second string. Let's see who did the better job putting this team together. I don't know, maybe at a second string practice we can maybe put these teams together and really
I think
settle it out.
CJ's lineup has me in the power department. Like having guys like JT and Jensen's overpower pitching. But I think I got the edge on speed.
I mean, you got Hunter at catcher. That's a
right. Those Cavs don't work for anybody else.
Yeah.
Kira, Zach, D-Boy, Boo Boo actually had the fastest 60 on our JV team last year. So I'm looking to steal some bags.
All right.
We got some bags too. We got speed on my team, right, Matt? We got Matt, we got you, Matt, we got Fuge, we got Lando, Jensen Kim if he gets a good lead. So I think it's a good draft. It was fun. Thank you, Matt.
I'd love to see this come to fruition.
You guys are the coaches. You guys can totally put this scrimmage together. I'm just saying.
Off season.
Right when in the fall.
October.
October.
We play for October. That'll be good. Maybe this will be the spring training for AJA.
Oh, the high school boys gonna be gone, but
they can play for fun on Sunday.
Yeah, we got to do it before they leave, I guess, because BJ goes up to college, pretty sure.
RJ actually is a free agent during the winter. He will be attending University of Hawaii at Manoa in the fall. He has seeked interest in our Mililani AJA team, but rumors are still circulating.
Yeah, nothing's official yet. We have to talk to the coaching staff. We might not be looking for any guys this season. We'll see.
This per Ken Rosenthal, just rumors, nothing crazy.
Rumors. Yeah.
Okay, you're not being like Jeff Passan and actually it wasn't Jeff Passan. It was John Heyman.
John Heyman, yeah.
Arson Judge. Yeah, we don't like him. We don't like him in Yankee world. So, all right. Well, I like that draft. You guys need to send me a picture of your guys' draft so we can show it to the world. But thanks, boys, for coming on. Definitely gonna have you guys back. Jaydon, we gotta talk, our major league teams later on this summer.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm always looking forward to being on the pod.
Oh yeah. And CJ, you need your other co-host on so we can have this collab that we've been talking about for how many months. But
yeah, man. Let us know.
I'm ready.
Yeah. I gotta talk to Big Country, see what he got stirring up. I know he's in the lab consistently, trying to get the plays ready for this upcoming football season. But yeah, we're ready. We're gonna hit it hard, and right now it's just the basketball. I mean, so much you can do with that, baseball, but football, we're gonna get ready for that. You let us know, Matt. We'll be ready. Looking forward to jumping on again. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming on. We'll take a quick break and then we'll wrap up with our baseball segment.
See you later.
All right. Well, that was our interview with Jaydon and CJ. That was a pretty fun one, I thought. But for me, I'm pretty excited now for second string to start up, making my season debut this summer. But we'll get to that down the road. As the season goes on, we'll probably have Jaydon back on to talk more baseball. But let's wrap things up. As usual, we'll conclude with the Yankee updates. And since Greg's not here, just the Yankee updates. But the Yankees, they were on the road this past week. They had a series in Toronto and also in Cincinnati. So overall, I would say a pretty successful road trip. You win 3 out of 4 in Toronto, and then you go to Cincinnati and you get a sweep. That is something you'll take. And the Yankees are looking pretty good right now. Feeling a lot better than I was, 2-3 weeks ago when they just could not buy runs. They just couldn't win. But we're starting to get a little healthier in terms of our big pieces coming back, but still having some ticky-tack injuries that, we had this past week. But, game 1 with the Blue Jays really was kind of the series of drama in a way. But game 1 started off pretty well for us. We got to Alek Manoah, who's their quote-unquote ace on paper, but he's been struggling this year. Couldn't really command any of his pitches in that start. I think he had about 7 walks in less than 5 innings. So a great job by the Yankees to really be patient and really let him cause the damage for us. So we got to him early. Aaron Boone decides to open with Jimmy Cordero, which, it's a little bit of different approach, you could say, almost like what the Rays do from time to time. But Brito comes in, gets the bulk innings, falters a little bit at the end, but overall was pretty good. But the real storyline of this game was Aaron Judge. Now, Aaron Judge had a pretty nice game, hit 2 home runs, but was accused of cheating in that game by the Blue Jays broadcast team and even their manager. And there was no evidence of him cheating. He even said in the post game, the reason why he was looking over at his dugout in the middle of the at bat was they were the ones making noise. So he was kind of just telling them, guys, can you just keep it down a little bit? I'm just trying to focus here. Let me lock in. And especially the Blue Jays broadcast team, to have the audacity to just accuse someone of cheating like that is outrageous. And I would say justice was served that night because Aaron Judge in that at bat, it's an absolute nuke out of the park. So yeah, take that for you. But Aaron Judge, big game for him. The Yankees win game 1. Game 2, yeah. So it kind of goes back full circle. Domingo Germán starts for us in game 2. And he gets ejected for, a foreign substance, quote unquote. Don't really know too much about it at the time, but it's not a good look. Not a good look for Germán and the Yankees. He gets suspended 10 games. And at first, when I saw that, I was like, this is ridiculous. It's almost like the Max Scherzer situation. I think it was a couple weeks ago. He got ejected in a game, and he was furious. He was furious that he got ejected. You could tell he definitely wasn't cheating. And he kept claiming it was rosin. It was rosin. So rosin and water, alcohol, that makes your hands sticky. And for him to get ejected, that's why he was upset, because the umpires were telling him, clean your hand off with the alcohol. But alcohol and rosin run together or combine together. That makes your hands sticky. So I was thinking initially, this has got to be the same thing. But looking more into it, I think I've come to the conclusion that he was cheating. Based off the way that Germán kind of just walked off the mound. There wasn't really any backlash. You could tell his body language was kind of down, head was down, didn't really debate anything from the umpire's decision. But just a disappointing thing for Germán to do. I mean, he's had a history of cheating before, using sticky substance, pine tar. So it's a bad look for the Yankees, but for the team wise, we can't replace him on the active roster because he's suspended. So you're basically down an extra guy that you could have. So very unfortunate situation. Luckily, the Yankees do win thanks to our captain, Aaron Judge, just balling out. But IKF also contributed hugely in this game. He hit his first home run of the season, scored 3 runs. So overall, a nice win for the Yankees to be able to overcome that Domingo Germán fiasco. But game 3, we end up falling in that game, which was a Garrett Cole start. He was fantastic, 6 shutout innings, but we just couldn't score. Just one of those games, pitcher's duel, and we didn't come out on top. But we respond well in game 4. The Aarons contributing in this game, Aaron Judge just absurdly hitting home runs in the Toronto. Aaron Hicks, Anthony Volpe getting big, timely RBI knocks for insurance. But the story of this game was Ryan Weber, the Web Dog. So the Yankees were clinging on to a 2-run lead, and the bases were loaded, nobody out. In comes Ryan Weber, and for him to allow just 1 run in that situation was huge, because that inning had disaster written all over it, and he was able to get out of the damage with just 1 run. That ends up being a huge win for us there. We take 3 out of 4, but unfortunately, like I said earlier, there was injuries. Ian Hamilton goes down, and out of nowhere, our catcher goes down, Jose Trevino. So we've got to be able to account for that. And moving over to the Red Series, no no Jose Trevino, so we call up Ben Rodvet, kind of this big, muscular minor league catcher that we have acquired in the trade with Minnesota with Donaldson and IKF. So he makes his big league debut this series. But game one, yeah, the Yankees just pick off right where they left off. Judge and Rizzo banging out homers as usual. And Kyle Higashioka gets the big 2-run double to really break the game open. Clark Schmidt finally had a decent outing, so good to see him get going. Yeah, game two, Yankees win 7-4 in extra innings. Aaron Judge had 4 hits in that game. I mean, what else can I say about this man? He is just literally on a tear right now, the hottest hitter on the planet. But he continues to do well. Ryan Weber gets another save, so we're getting a lot of contributions from our big guys, but also some unsung heroes like Ryan Weber. But he gets the save, and then in game three, the headline was we got a big boy bat. Luis Severino returns from the IL, a guy who we desperately need if we're going to make a deep postseason run. But he makes his first start of the season coming off the IL, and he looked pretty good. 4 2/3 innings. He, kind of struggled a little bit, couldn't find the control in the first inning, but after that, he was lights out. Just absolutely dominant. He looked like the old Severino of old. But he was on a pitch count, 75 pitches. So hopefully in the next start, he can get up to maybe 85. I think that's the target. And then from there, kind of stretch it out, 95, maybe push him to 100. And then it's all go from there. So good to see Sevy get back, give us a nice quality outing. And it's a good series. It was a great week, I should say. But, kind of looking forward to next week, we got a couple big homestands. We got Baltimore coming into town on Tuesday, a big 3-game series for us since we're chasing Baltimore in the standing. So hopefully we can catch up ground there. And then we got the Padres coming in. They're struggling a little bit, but on paper, they're one of the most talented teams in the majors. So it's another tough stretch for us. So if we can win both series, that would be great. 4-2, that'll work. You win 2 games in each series. Let's keep it simple. But hopefully the good times keep rolling. But one thing I want to talk about is for the Yankees, the big, I guess, the headliner was that the Yankees DFA'd Aaron Hicks this past weekend. Kind of a shocker for me in terms of the timing of it. So Aaron Hicks was playing really well these past couple of games. He's been hitting the ball, getting timely hits, hasn't had a big error on defense, which he's been pretty accustomed to in recent time. But, as much as the Yankee fans, we don't really care for Aaron Hicks, you could say. But we do wish him the best. We really do. But he's just not meant for the bright lights of New York. And not many people are. Don't get me wrong. He's had some nice moments, big moments actually, in his Yankee career. Obviously, probably most famous was that 3-run homer in the 2019 ALCS against the Astros off Justin Verlander. That was probably his biggest moment. Had another home run against Presley in the regular season. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. So he's had some big hits and had that big Minnesota game a few years ago. But it's a sad moment, but the right move, but at an unusual timing because I was not expecting him to be released after playing probably his best stretch of baseball. But I guess it was coming because the Yankees acquired Greg Allen in a trade with the Red Sox. Not a big name guy. Not a lot of guys know about him, but he's just a quality role player in the outfield. I think it's a better fit for the Yankees. He's been with the Yankees before. He knows how Boone likes to run the team. And I think just for him, Aaron Hicks wants to be a starter. He's made that publicly clear, but he just doesn't have that role in the Yankees. You got Judge, you got Bader. Stanton can play the outfield to, avoid that DH log up. So that's already three guys. You got Cabrera out there. IKF has turned into an outfielder now. So there's just a lot of guys. And I think with Greg Allen, the thing that he brings is the right mentality. Okay, he can switch hit. That's a great plus. Switch hitter. He's got good speed. He can play center field to back up Bader. But he provides just that mental aspect. He's okay with being a bench player. He knows he's not going to be Aaron Judge and play every single day. But that mentality of not trying to be a starter and do too much. He's just going to stay within himself on the bench, cheer guys on. And he knows he's going to come in late in games for defense, bench running, small things like that. So I like the fit with Greg Allen. He's off to a nice start. Actually had a pretty good hitting series against the Reds. So hopefully he can keep the times going, but all the best to Aaron Hicks. Just wasn't the right fit. And hopefully he can find a team that provides him the opportunity to start going forward. But, that was a pretty long podcast. So as usual, we'll wrap it up with our sports fact of the day. So we're recording on May 22nd, and we'll go back to 1994. And, way back when, this was the unveiling of the name Raptors and the franchise of the Toronto Raptors being born today. So pretty cool fact. Luckily, Toronto ends up winning the NBA championship in 2019. So a long road ahead, but at least they got that championship, and their franchise was born today in 1994. So pretty cool fact there. But I think that's going to conclude our show. And, the Fanatic, he'll be signing off for a week. Hopefully the fan will record next week. I will hopefully try to get him to record. But if not, we'll talk to you guys either next week with the fan, or I'll see you guys back in 2 weeks. But have a good week, everybody, and we'll talk to you guys later.